Hi everyone, I'm Chirag Bhatia and in this video I'll be sharing 5 problems I feel are there in the college education system and how you can solve them. Number 1. We are mostly designing big spaces. See, I've interviewed a lot of freshers and most of them have fantastic portfolios filled with large scale development projects, housings, public centers, heritage museums and whatnot. The list can go on and on. But 90% of them are not able to pass a simple test of doing a basic layout of a living room or a washroom. What we are not taught is that the reality is quite different from projects we deal with in college. The fact is that as soon as you step out into the real world, whether you open up your own office or do a job, how many do you think are designing social cultural centers? How many do you think are designing big public spaces or heritage museums or big airports? There are not even 1% in number. And the problem is that macro designing all these 4 or 5 years, talking about big projects, spaces, as I mentioned, makes us forget the need to learn the importance of small things. Be it doing a layout of a living room or a huge gym or washroom, but the chances are that the small ones are what you're going to get first. Now, be with me on this. I'm not trying to demotivate anyone. The problem is that throughout our 4 or 5 years of education, depending on the course, the college and we ourselves do not have a plan in place. We don't have a plan in place. We rely on the education system, which is just fine, but far from being updated. So let's not discuss the problem only, but also what we can do to address the issue. The solution is very simple. If you follow these 6 steps which are on your screen, I guarantee that till the time you start applying for your internships or jobs, your confidence level is going to skyrocket. Number 1, keep your eyes and ears open. Identify and keep your eyes and ears open on the smallest of construction activities going on in your friends, family circles, or neighborhood. Number 2, move out of your homes. Of course, don't do this seeing present circumstances, but once things are all right, start visiting all these sites, requesting them to take you along whenever they are visiting. By they, I mean your friends, family circles, and neighbors, and request them that they take you along whenever they are visiting sites, or if they're already living, you start visiting them. Number 3, talk to an industry expert. If they have an architect or interior designer who they've hired to do their space, try to meet the designer. Now, this is one of a kind opportunity to network with industry experts because right now you're going to be treated as the client's relative or a friend and not as an employee working for them. And you have the authority to ask all types of questions, even if they don't make sense. Just stop before you feel you're starting to annoy them, and trust me, the knowledge you're going to attain just by talking to a professional will get absorbed in your subconscious, and that will be the start of your practical skill development. Number 4, ask right questions to right people. We just took an example where somebody had hired a professional and you are supposed to have a conversation with them. What if that's not the case? What if your circle of friends or family are doing things on their own? In that case, you start asking them questions. And the questions need not be technical. They need to be formed in a way and asked to understand problems people face and what they're doing about it. I'll repeat that one more time for you. They need to be formed in a way and asked to understand problems people face and what they're doing about it. If they are modeling their kitchen, you ask them right from different storage ideas they have planned to appliances they are buying, which company, why the sink is placed in that corner. You all must know whom to ask the right questions. If you ask your friend's little brother about kitchens, probably you're not going to get the right answers. Ask the lady of the house. She can tell you problems which no one can. If it's an office space, you ask one of the staff if the workstation they are working on is comfortable. What is the stuff he or she needs to access on a daily basis, and they would have preferred if the storage units for them would have been planned near to them. Checking out the server room, the pantry, the breakout areas, The questions are endless and they depend on situation to situation, person to person. Your job is to identify the situation, then the right person to answer your questions, and at last asking those questions. Remember, if you will never ask, you'll never know. Fourth point, the previous steps push you all to move out of the comfort of your homes. But this step is right here. Use this effectively. Start studying different types of layouts on the internet. You have Google, you have Pinterest, and there are a lot of other sites. Save images not with an intent, just because you liked it. Save it, take out a print if you can, and identify why you liked it. You can even start writing on that print and maintain a collection. And once you save 100 pictures of a washroom and study its layouts, you will be amazed to discover the possibilities in the same amount of space. And for those out there who are thinking, why am I so obsessed with washroom layouts and layouts of other areas of the house or office, is because there are any day more chances of you getting your first project of a house or an office than a cultural center. I know it was a long first problem, but an important one. Moving on to the next problem, which is acquiring minimal knowledge of finishes and materials. See, most of the colleges don't invite vendors, and if they do, I'm unaware. You can comment below and let me know. The problem is, if you don't study materials, study new materials which are growing and growing with each coming day, how do you expect to design something new every time? Isn't architecture and interiors dependent on playing with both forms and finishes? It's not just forms. To achieve a form, be it for a facade or cladding of an interior wall, a strong idea and knowledge of materials and finishes are required. The problem is that, unfortunately, our system doesn't invite people to colleges often. And I'm talking about most of the colleges. I know of people who, even after having an experience of 8 to 10 years, I'm counting 5 years of education in that, they still have very basic knowledge of what's new, what's trending. See, with full respect, I am an admirer of brick in different ways, using brick in different ways. But we need to realize that that's not what people out there to hire us are looking for always. They hire us so that we can enlighten them about the latest trends and technologies. Now, if we don't want to play the blame game and take responsibility in our hands, there are 3 things you can do to become decently updated on the finishes and materials. They are right on your screen. Number 1, explore 5-star hotels. Apart from visiting friends and closed one sites, which we discussed before, one of the best places, in my opinion, which is easily accessible to all, is exploring 5-star hotels. Go there, you order a coffee or tea or whatever, and within 15 minutes you call up the manager in the area and you say this. You tell him that you're a student of architecture or interiors and in a year's time would be designing spaces on your own. You ask him to arrange a tour of his hotel, showing you the property inside out, as you plan to visit again with your family, as you've loved it. You can further go and ask him if they offer any dine-in or health memberships. If yes, you'd like to check out all the restaurants and the club facilities they have. Sounds simple? It is simple. There is just one prerequisite to achieve success in this step, which is you should go sober and go well dressed. Don't consider this as your usual friends night out. And if you explore one hotel every week, which is not much, by the end of the year, you will have way more knowledge on finishes and materials and how they've been used than you could ever imagine. Now, for those who are thinking that my point 1 and 2 are contradicting, in which in the first point I told you all to go and visit houses and offices and be involved in designing and understanding smaller spaces. In the second point, I'm asking you all to visit 5-star hotels. So here's the thing. The houses you visit may vary hugely in terms of designs and materials being used. They would all be according to the pockets the owners have. But luxury properties, big chain hotels, have to create an aura. It's like a prerequisite for them. That's like a must to attract people to their property. So you learn good stuff there, store it in your mind, And whenever given a chance, you introduce those concepts in smaller projects. A 5-star hotel is just an example. You may visit other areas which are rich architecturally and are known for high quality interiors. The goal is to learn from the biggies to be able to apply with your own tweaks into smaller projects. Being students and not part of professional setup, there is always this disadvantage of not being able to call various vendors and manufacturers because they're mostly interested in promoting their products in front of people who want to use it immediately. As an initiative to support interested youngsters and not just students, to be able to meet product suppliers to attain knowledge of finishes, materials, latest materials and finishes, we are in the process of setting up a system. Due to the coronavirus, this initiative had to be pushed further. I'll be updating you all about it soon. So if you like this video, I would love to hear your comments and suggestions below. I'll be out with the part 2 of this video soon, sharing the other 3 points of 5 things that college does not teach you. Till then, have a great weekend.